Boris Johnson and Ursula von der Leyen are gearing up for a high-noon showdown with the pair scheduled to talk by phone at midday Brussels time, in other words, imminently. The European Commission President's spokesman, Eric Mamer, confirmed the news via Twitter. Mr. Johnson and Mrs. von der Leyen previously met on Wednesday in Brussels over dinner, but their talks ended in stalemate. Mr. Mamer posted, update to the agenda of President at von der Leyen, phone call with UK Prime Minister at Boris Johnson around noon on the EU per gigabyte negotiations. Brussels time. With the transition period coming to an end on December 31, time is now desperately short for the two sides to reach an agreement. After their meeting in the week, Mr. Johnson floated the idea of direct talks with Germany's Chancellor, Angela Merkel, and Emmanuel Macron, France's president. However, the Commission swiftly poured cold water on the idea, with an official saying Mr. Johnson had already been told all negotiations had to go through it. Mrs. Merkel said today that everything possible must be done to secure a deal. Both sides have acknowledged they are some way apart on the three key issues: fishing, state aid and the role of the European Court of Justice. Negotiators met in Brussels on Saturday, and they talked through the night. But the talks were very difficult, and as things stand, the offer on the table from the EU remains unacceptable, a UK government source said on Saturday. They added, the Prime Minister will leave no stone unturned in this process, but he is absolutely clear, any agreement must be fair and respect the fundamental position that the UK will be a sovereign nation in 3 weeks' time. Nevertheless, EU insiders are expecting the EU and UK will agree to continue talks after the phone call, in a possible indication that they believe a deal can still be struck. Speaking this morning, EU sources said some inroads had been made, but warned no breakthrough had been made on fishing or the level playing field. Speaking today to the BBC's Andrew Marr, Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab has refused to close the door on the chance of the trade talks with the European Union continuing past the Sunday deadline. The cabinet minister said never say never and highlighted that negotiations with Brussels have a tendency to drag and drift.